What's up, all grad? Hey, I figured I'd do something different today. My little buddy's under the weather, so I'm going to be flying solo, and I'm going to do a tutorial today. So we've done the unboxings, we've done reviews, we've done silly videos, we've done a bunch of promotion of our products, because for right now, the only thing we can do to make money here is to sell stuff. So until we get monetized, until we get a following, we're not going to be able to make any money any other way. So my apologies for pushing that stuff. My apologies for making commercials. I don't really like to do that stuff, but this is where we are. And this is just as much of a journey for me as it is to teach my son something about how to capitalize and make money and create value and all that fun stuff. So anyway, I'm going to get right into it. Be sure, if you find value in what we're doing, to like, share, comment, subscribe. Any questions you might have, we're happy to end fast in responding right now. So take advantage of that. I think we've got a lot to give. We've got a lot of knowledge about stuff. Today we're going to talk about 3D printing, and what you see in the background here is a little time lapse we did. And maybe someday I'll do a tutorial on how that's all done with this type of project. But we're going to do 3D Lithophanes. If you watched any of our past videos, the last couple, we're doing Lithophane. Partly just to find something else that's got a little bit of a broader audience that we can utilize and sell to make a few bucks here and there to keep this channel going and keep our little hobby afloat. So based on that, we decided, you know what, I think doing a tutorial on how to do that is helpful. And of course, there's lots of people I know that have 3D printers now that think this stuff is kind of cool. So I'm going to try to show you the no BS way to do this. So sorry for the long intro, but let's get right into it. Now, the first thing you need to do with creating a lithophane, in this case, we're going to create a lithophane that goes onto a nightlight. Now, this basically, you get a nightlight like this from Walmart. It's an LED. This little plastic piece slides off pretty easily. It's got an LED, and it's got a light photo sensor to determine whether the lights are on or off. When they're on, it shuts off. When they're off, it turns on. And then we're going to create a litho that snaps on to that, and it just holds itself there. It uses the same profile as the plastic cover that comes by default. So really pretty easy, about as simple as you can get. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find a photograph, something that you want to show up on your litho. So in this case, let's just jump right into it. I'm a member of this group, Hex 3D Patreon group. This guy makes just amazing 3D models. The only way you get them is if you're a subscriber, and the only way you get the backlog data, stuff on here, is if you are a subscriber for a long time, which I have been. So really like to be part of this group. He puts out some really ridiculous things. Mando helmets. I mean, his stuff is top notch, and maybe I'll do another quality on that, or another video on that, on his quality and the types of things that he offers. But generally, we're going to use this as our source image. Stranger Things, Munson, mishmashed with Grogu, and this is an actual statue, but we're going to create a photolithograph of this bad boy. So wherever you decide to source your image from, you get it saved on your computer, and then you're going to take the image, and we want to modify this just a little bit so it lends itself really good to becoming a lithograph, a 3D printed lithograph, that is. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the next phase of this, and what I found was Adobe Express. Now I have the full version of Adobe through my work, and I use it at home. I used to have a subscription, but I decided that if work was going to pay for it, I might as well use it there and home as well, because you can use it anywhere, right? So, but for the sake of this video, not everybody has access to that. So I thought, let me see if I can find a software that can remove a background for free on the internet. And guess what? Adobe Express has a free version here for you. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click remove background. You're going to drag and drop an image. So in this case, I have an image here. Let's see. Where did I put it? I don't remember where I put it. Ah, there it is. So I'm going to start with this image that I downloaded, and I'm just going to drag it into here. Oops, hey now, there we go. Drag it in. It's going to remove the background for you automatically. Isn't that amazing? Technology, I'm telling you, is ridiculous. So you can download it right from here if you want to, but what you'll have is a whole bunch of white in the background here, which isn't so bad. I mean, it is a light after all, but I'd like to make it a little, you know, kind of match the background, match the image. So plus it's helpful to have a little bit of gradient contrast in the image, because it just gives it a little bit more rigidity and depth and that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna hit customize. I think what I'm gonna do at this point, and of course you can do whatever you want. I mean, the sky's the limit here, guys. You can add words, text. I didn't really go through all the crap you can do here, but I'm gonna go ahead and get him to be about as big as I want, and then I'm gonna grab a background. You know, you can grab any background you want. That's kind of cool. What's this? That's kind of grungy. I don't really know much about this, so bear with me. I use Photoshop straight up, so I'm not used to this stuff. I was really kind of looking for bricks. I think you probably you've seen like a little flash of something that I did earlier, so I was wondering if maybe I can do something similar. Replace background. Let's do that. Uh-oh, I think I just screwed up because I was selected on this image. Yikes. Undo. Select the background and then replace the background. Hello. That's what you want to do. Oh, looks like you can rotate it. You can zoom it. You can get kind of whatever you want. Whatever you want to do to make it look good. Now remember, this is going to be basically black and white, so you know, whatever you pick here, it's going to end up being black or white. And I almost like this much more, this texture a little bit better, I think. Yeah, let me get that. Rotate, give that a zoom. There. The sky's the limit, guys. You can do anything you want here. Then when you're done, just download it. Pick JPEG, PDF, PNG. I would just pick PNG. Download this guy. Okay, my project 1.1. There we go. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to jump over to a free website, and that free website is going to be the one I'm using is called Itslitho. This one's going to give you the ability to create your lithograph. So let's see if we can find this bad boy. Do I have it? Do I have it? There it is. Okay, so see, I've already done this. I'm going to go ahead and clear that out. We're going to grab the image that we just created together, my project 1.1 in my downloads folder, usually where it ends up. And now you're going to see that that's in there. If I go to edit, you'll see the image. If I go to model, it'll generate the model. Okay. Right now it's just a flat model. It's pretty dark. So I'm going to, I think the key to this is contrast. So you're either going to increase the contrast or you're going to decrease the contrast to give your subjects detail. So I'm going to decrease it just a smidge. The other thing you can do is you can mess around with these colors because you're in luminance Grayscale mode. So these colors, if you adjust, you can do whatever you want. So you see that's really brightening up by increasing the reds. Yeah, you just play with it until you get something you like. Yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. So you don't have to get too crazy, but you can do all kinds of other stuff. If you wanted to create this without the logo, you could also crop this guy, your height, your left and right. So left brings you down, crops you down, so we'll crop that out. And then your left and right now need to be squared up, so we'll bring that in a little bit on the right, bring that in a little bit on the left, and keep our squareness. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, so that's your image quality. Then you're going to go to model. Now when you're in model, you got a bunch of options here as well. So moving your mouse, scrolling, get you all kinds of different views. This is a full 3D view. If you look real close, this is how lithos work. They vary the thickness of the litho, so it changes how much light goes through. Okay, so what do we want to do? Well, first we want to change the shape to a arc. This gives you the arc look, which I think looks nice on these little night lights. I'm going to change my frame options here. I don't need such a big thick frame, so I'm going to go 2.5 on the thickness, and the depth probably 2. Just give it a little bit less of a, yeah, it looks nice, a little bit less of a prominence. Again, you can do whatever you want, but that's how I'm going to do it. Also, the thickness of the arc itself, you can play with. I probably want to stick with a minimum 0.8 and 2.5 on the maximum. This is your depth. This is how deep, how thick your litho becomes in the end, the actual thickness of it, and it drastically contributes to how long these things take. And they do take some time. We're talking probably minimum of 2 hours here on this one to have some pretty acceptable quality. So it's pretty much, you want to keep these settings as best you can. The last option here that I'm gonna have you do is click night light, and that's gonna give you the night light base. Remember, I showed you that this has that kind of shape, so that has that kind of shape. It's exacto, it fits perfectly, so there's not really anything else you have to do. The attributes are pretty darn good. Model options, nothing there, I don't think. I think this is just your view. Image options, you can flip this, mirror it, you can change the placement, the zoom. So we could have probably done the crop with this zoom instead of cropping it back in the edit image area. There's just a few things you can do there. Nothing really I care about. What I want to do now is download this guy. Now, I try to take a look at these details, and when you're looking at it straight on, that's pretty much what you're going to see when this is backlit. Now, this is what it's going to look like when it's front lit. It's going to look like nothing. When it's backlit, that's when the magic happens. So I'm going to go ahead and download this guy. Now, you have to download this with attributes. So if you click Lithophane only, you're not going to get that bottom piece that clips onto the nightlight. Don't ask me how I know. So download Lithophane, bop it a bop. Then you're going to open up your slicer of choice, and you're going to put your Lithophane in your model, get it lined up how you want, slice her up, and go to town. I'm not going to get into settings too much here with you guys. I can show you what my settings are because the time lapse that I'm going to show at the end of this video is going to show you that quality. So it's a 0.2 layer height. I did 5 lines on the walls. Make sure I get nothing but walls, no infill on the actual litho itself. Print temperature 205. This is and this filament sucks. You'll see. It's not that good. I am going to print this at 50 millimeters per second on the print speed. It's going to give you wall speed at 25, infill speed at 50. We're not going to do any infill on this other than the bottom layer, so that's pretty much where it's at. I'm doing some retraction here at 1.8 millimeters. Do a little Z-hop. I got cooling in, no supports, and that's pretty much it. So then you're going to save it to disk, put it in your printer, hit print, and hopefully you'll get something that looks like this. Alright guys, that's it for the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you want us to do more of these types of things. We'd love to share the knowledge, boil this down into basics, and not get too carried away with a lot of details. Make this easy for people. Yeah, now this is a great way. If you've got a 3D printer and you want to make a few bucks, there's nothing easier out there. This is one of the easiest things that you can do. Friends and family will eat them up. If you're doing trade shows, which we're not doing, but if you're doing a trade show or something like that, man, you could totally clean house with this thing. Can you imagine, like, if you had like a board of outlets and just had a bunch of night lights plugged in? I think that would really go a long way, especially with artwork like this, which has a wide appeal. I think you would just clean house. These you also have the opportunity to do like a interchangeable plates. They buy the one, and then you can upsell by selling like a set, like a Grogu set. You could do a holiday set. You do all kinds of cool stuff like that, and then they buy a pack, a 3-pack or 4-pack or whatever. Just some thoughts, stuff that we thought about. If we wanted to do a trade show or something, we might consider doing that. They just literally had a Christmas convention down here in our little town. Maybe it would have been kind of cool to have a booth set up where we had a little presentation board and sold these. We probably could have cleaned house, I bet you. Made some pretty decent money at that. So maybe sometime we'll try that. We'll keep an eye out for those kind of things. And boy, these small towns by where we are, there's no shortage of these types of festivals that you can go to for little and nothing set up, and there's zero competition. So if you're out there and you got a 3D printer and you want to do something and have a little fun, give this a shot. But anyways, if you got value out of this, you enjoyed the video, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. Peace out.